Hello, the incredible disruptive nutrition family. Now, look, I'm Mark McDonald, and this is we're switching roles right now. We know the fearless leader. We all love her, Carrie Lapoli herself. But I said, Carrie, why? No one knows. Like, people know your story, but let's interview you. And I think this is crucial because as disruptive nutrition continues to grow throughout the world, and as people say, well, who is Carrie? What's disruptive nutrition? This is going to be a short little video and interview that you can share with your friends, your family, that people want to learn more about the creator and the leader. Carrie has inspired me. She is one of the greatest health professionals I've ever had the opportunity to know. She lives with authenticity. She lives in a way that makes us all want to be better, be stronger. She's a wife. She's a mom. She's an incredible entrepreneur. And most important, she's a visionary. She empowers people based on her own personal experiences to win. So I got 3 great questions for Carrie, and I want everyone to get excited. I want you to stand up wherever you're watching this, give her a standing ovation. So Carrie, are you ready? I'm putting you in the hot seat.
I'm ready. I know you already stand when you do this. I'm in a big stool, but if I stand, you won't be able to see me. So I'm just going to go at it this way.
Okay, well, you bring your energy any way you do it.
All right, I wonder, what are the questions going to be? Okay, let's see if I can answer.
You don't know, it's a hot seat.
Okay.
So the first one is, your story really inspires me, the story about what led you to creating disruptive nutrition. And I think it's crucial people understand that. So, take us through your history. What led you to the moment when you said, something's got to change and I need to launch something and make a difference?
So when people ask me about that, I go right to this one moment. I remember being in my kitchen. I was not quite 40 yet. I was a couple years away and I was just crying. I just hated myself. I hated my body. I hated the way I parented. I hated the wife I was, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I remember looking at my girls, and we had just moved again. We've moved many, many times. And I thought, I am not worthy. I am not worthy. I can't figure myself out. How am I supposed to parent these 2 girls? And so I didn't know what to do. I literally was bringing a pot of coffee to work. That's a pot. I would brew a pot and bring it to work. I was on every type of diet because I just kept thinking if I could lose these 20 pounds that somehow crept up on me over the years, I was then going to be the better mother. I was going to be a better wife. I was going to be a better worker, all of that stuff. And it never was working. And I just remember sitting there going, I'm about to turn 40. I'm in the worst shape I ever was. I was a college athlete. I didn't want to wake up in the morning. I ended up buying box wine because it was cheaper than bottles of wine because every night, all I could do was sit and have a glass of wine. That was like the thing that I could do because I felt like I have nothing else. Like that's the thing that would calm me. And so I then just decided to join a gym. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do what everyone else does. I'm going to join a gym. And it was almost like joining a gym. It was an amazing gym. But I then because I didn't know anything about food, I just said, oh, well, I'm working out. Now I can eat anything. I don't even have to be on a diet anymore, right? And then it got worse from there. So fast forward a year where I was just a mess. And the reason I start with that was because I didn't think about my history. I didn't think about the past. I was just really where I was. And then when I was at the gym and a nutrition coach, someone that you trained, Mark, asked me a crazy question. They said, what do you think is more correct? An apple or pizza with chicken? Now, I was like, an apple, obviously, but you're asking me this question, so it's got to be something else. And that's when everything switched for me. And I realized I have no idea about food. I thought an apple was just healthy, right? And if I just ate an apple in between a few meals, I was doing it right. Or, an apple I knew how many calories it was because I would track it. And so that prompted a research and development in my own brain. If anybody knows the Enneagram, it is this amazing personality assessment. And I am an 8. An 8 on the Enneagram is assertive, and they are hardcore, and they are driven. And I was like, I have to figure this out. And so that's when I started digging into you, and I started working with my coach. And that's when I started also realizing all the stuff that had happened to me in the past that caused kind of where I was in that present moment. And I grew up being afraid of food. I grew up believing that my value was in how much I weighed and what I looked like. And that if that wasn't good, I didn't have any value to the world. I had 2 master's degrees. I was a teacher. I was an educator, but that didn't matter if I didn't look a certain way. And it took years for me to figure that out and realizing what I was saying to my kids. Awareness is such a big part of our ability to live a lifestyle that is truly healthy. And if we're not aware of what we're doing, we can't change anything. And so I started to build an awareness. And that's really, like, I can learn how to eat better, and I did, but until I really dug into my mindset and dug into my past and why I wanted to take a hold of my health, I realized had nothing to do with what I looked like. But it's amazing how confident you can feel when you know you're doing right. And it was like less than a year later, I'm standing in that same kitchen and I'm looking at my kids, and I hadn't quite met my goals yet, but I knew I was on the right path. And so it didn't matter what the scale said anymore. The confidence came within me because I knew I was doing right for my body. And that changed everything.
Carrie, that is so, I get the chills when you tell the story about where you were and just before you turned 40, the pain and the heartache you felt. And so many people feel that way. And that's why it's an honor to be partnering with you. What I love the disruptive nutrition message. So we know the story of what brought you here. And now you're changing the world. You're empowering people to live their best health. What is, when we talk about disruptive nutrition, walk me through what are some of the great, amazing success stories, and what are you teaching on a daily basis in the community and the culture of it?
Yeah, it's multifaceted, so many layers, right? Because health and wellness takes on so many layers. And for me, I learned the approach. And then when I really figured me out and really understood my why and all of the pieces that went into who I was, that's when real change started. So that's what we try to do with disruptive nutrition. We're looking at this from many, many, many ways. We could just teach you, this is what you do, and this is how you do it. But I love this so much because one of my clients, her name was Chandra, she just recently said this to me. She said she's done a variety of different things all throughout the years. And it was just like, do this, do this, do this, write it down, and then keep moving. She's like, what you teach at Disruptive Nutrition is about my body, my mind, and my soul. It's changing me from the inside out. It's making me more aware of who I am, but who I want to be. I now have intentionality that I never had before. And you lay it out in such a simple way and in baby steps that it makes sense. And I realized, Mark, I've been an educator for 24 years. I was a special educator. I know how to teach so people learn. And I didn't even realize that was kind of a superpower of mine, because anybody can kind of teach this concept, but I think putting it in a context where it's simple to follow, but also with support, right? I mean, we're in the middle of so much like online learning, and I'm watching my kids kind of teach themselves, and it's not as effective because you don't have a community around you. When you're in a classroom and you're learning from each other and you're really intentionally, authentically living and implementing, that's when you learn. And that's what I've been able to build. We have a community of coaches and clients, people that have been living this lifestyle for years, that get as excited as I do when a new person comes on board, because that means somebody else is going to change their life and they get to be a part of it. And that, to me, is the heart of disruptive nutrition. It's not a program. It is a way. It is an approach. It is a mindset. It is who we are. And that's why we're called diet disruptors, because that is our identity. We will never diet again because we don't have to. And it's when people plug into our community and really see that we have people that are on day 1 and then on people that are on day, 800. And their story doesn't change in terms of that level of satisfaction and confidence. It just gets better. And that's what I love about it, because the diet gets harder and worse over time. This is like what I say, a fine wine. It gets better over time. The
I
more
love it.
you do it, the longer you do it, the more your metabolism boosts. But more than that, the more confidence you have, the more you can talk about it to other people, because that's what I want. And I love that that's what you do, Mark. You have your own practice. Like, you do this, and supporting people like me and other professionals partnering with each other means we just keep wanting to get the message out. There's no competition. This is about everybody knowing this and learning this. And that's what I want every diet disruptor to do, to be able to know that they have the confidence and ability to share this with others too.
Yeah, I love it. And that's the power of it. I love the diet disruptors. That's power right there.
It
So look,
is.
we look at the movement that's being created. What's next for disruptive nutrition? So I know we're going to do some awesome stuff together. I know you're building a global community and culture, and I know all your diet disruptors love you. But what's next? I know you have an amazing family. What's the vision? What's the difference you want to make in the world?
Yeah, I mean, so as somebody that had an eating disorder out of college, it is so, and as an educator, right? As a mom, I know the impact that I have on my own kids. And I was so scared to put forward those same beliefs and mindsets with my own kids. And I have, over so many years, but after coaching so many people, kind of worked through, how do we talk to our kids about this in a way that's so much healthier. And so we're very excited to be digging into like that part of things too, thinking about ourselves as parents and how do we impact our kids in a way so that they are set for life. So there's a lot that we're trying to work with kids, and especially teenagers, and especially I have 2 teenage girls. We're thinking a lot about that. We want to continue to grow our community. I just don't feel like I want to stop until every single person understands, until like they can all wear a Diet Disruptors t-shirt or something, or say, I am a diet disruptor. Because when you are, you're different, you're changed, and you get to change everyone else around you. So we're really just hoping our community continues to grow. I love being able to speak to this. We have a team of coaches that, Mark, it is unbelievable to me that I have been so blessed to have a team of people whose story is even more powerful than mine, and now just cared so much about being able to support others in their journey. So we want to continue to grow our coaching team. So we have coaches all over the world so that you can have support wherever you are. We have just want to continue to grow our membership, but our community, right? Because when we are growing in community, we can do so much more. Raising awareness to me is number one about the things I'm passionate about. So being out there and just kind of pounding the pavement and really helping to get this out is where my passion is. And I want to continue to grow for the next, 10, 20, 30 years, however long. I have all this energy to keep teaching it. And so I just think it's like wildfire. And once it catches on, my goal is that it just goes and goes and goes.
I love it. Wildfire. So everyone, now you know Carrie. And I think the image in the video that Carrie's going to shoot is the story about her sitting at her kitchen right before she turned 40. And what speaks to me is you talk about your daughters. I just want everyone to remember this fact. For boys and girls, we have a 15-year-old son and a 5-year-old girl. When girls hit adolescence, so when boys hit it, they seem to flourish with testosterone. But then they don't understand food and they gain weight as they get older. Mm-hmm. When girls hit puberty, their body with estrogen and progesterone starts laying down fat cells. Once you have a fat cell, it never goes away. If you can empower your girls now to understand food before they hit puberty, they will never lay down those fat cells. And that means that they don't have to deal with the challenges that many of us have had to deal with. So that's the key, is to make sure that it's not about that. And I love, as Carrie just shared, look at her girls, and she's empowering them to understand. So as we wrap the story of Carrie and the power of disruptive nutrition, I want you to give us, and bring those girls back up, give us your dose of inspiration for everyone to take on.
Yeah, that is it. That is my why. When I was sitting there at that kitchen table, Mark, it was like so obvious to me that I wasn't doing right for them. And we don't always realize it. That's where that awareness comes in. And that's why I think what we do at Disruptive Nutrition is so different. We make us, our community forces us to look into ourselves. What are we saying? Because when we have awareness of the little habits that aren't serving us, most of us aren't even aware of them. Most of us are not even aware of the little things that we're saying that are actually impacting our kids every single day. And so I ask people to be able to be aware of that, because that's my inspiration. And the more and more that I learned that, wow, the more that really empowered me to continue to want to share this with others. Now, the other thing that really inspires me, Mark, are my clients. Like every single day when I am working with my clients, I had somebody just 2 weeks ago when she started working with us, she was scared, fearful. She's like, I fast for 48 hours at a time. I don't know if I can do this. I am so scared if I eat, I'm going to gain weight. And that is such a fear. And I'm like, I am there for you. I've got this for you. And whether it's me or any of my coaches, that's what we do. We are your cheerleaders and we are inspired. And then yesterday, she texted me and she said she's never felt better. She's losing the fear. And she gave her scale away to a neighbor. She gave her scale away for 3 months because she said she realized that her happiness each day comes in that number. She wakes up, she stands on the scale, and then that determines whether or not she's going to have a good or bad day. What is that about? Right? So that inspires me to keep going because I can see on a daily basis progress. And you always talk about 1% progress, and that's it. That is huge progress, right? And that's in 2 weeks, right? She's no longer fasting. She's fueling her body with food. She gave her scale away. And of course she's losing weight, but I made her give the scale away. So now we're not even gonna measure that anymore, but it's powerful. And so that my kids and my clients.
Disruptive nutrition and the fear, love your food. I love it.
It could be our new tagline.
There we go. So everyone, there's many more we're doing. You now know your fearless leader that much better. Love Carrie. She's making a difference in the world. She is a world changer. And get on the lookout. There's many more trainings and videos and programs that we're going to be launching together, because it's all about us coming together, because together we can change the health of the world. And it always starts with you. Thanks, Carrie.
Yes. Yay. Thanks, guys. Bye.